Hey guys, before we start the video, I want to let you know that I have a Twitch channel now. We're going to be streaming a bunch of different video games that'll eventually turn into videos. Right now we're working on Super Mario 3D All-Stars and getting over it. So if you ever want to just watch me play video games and have some content without ridiculous wait for animations, you can hop over there and give me a follow. It would be very highly appreciated and I'd like it very much. Also, I'm not going to be one of those pushy YouTubers who tells you to subscribe, but you know what to do. Anyway, enjoy the video. Mario is without a doubt one of the greatest video game franchises of all time. Probably one of the most recognizable video game characters, like behind Steve from Minecraft and the Tetris piece. The Mario franchise has had some really good games in its time, with the 8 and 16-bit titles like Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario World, and with its 3D titles like Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. These 3D titles were especially amazing because they really felt like worlds. Being able to move in an open world with Mario's platforming abilities had a feel that wasn't pulled off by many other games. This is why I'm very happy that Nintendo released 3D All-Stars, and I literally cannot stop playing it. Like, seriously, I think I might have a problem. Though in the releases of Mario games after Super Mario Galaxy, Nintendo decided to ditch the more open world feel for a more arcade feel that the 8 and 16-bit games had. And I don't care how much the titles of these games say it is, the games feel really 2D and lack depth. It doesn't feel like a world, but more like a game you would play on your phone while you sit in a drive-thru. Okay, that's a little bit harsh. Though with the release of Nintendo's new console, the Switch, in 2017, we got a look at a new Mario game, Super Mario Odyssey. This Mario game was truly open world, with each level being massive in size with so many things to do. With this newly revived level design along with stunning visuals, the game was immediately given amazing reviews and being called one of the best games of all time. Though, despite this, I wasn't able to get my hands on the game until holiday season of 2019. And when I got this game, my plan was to beat the story part of the game and then do a little post-game stuff to get a full feel for Super Mario Odyssey. But I ended up playing a little more than I thought I would. But you're not watching to hear how I wasted many hours of my life playing this game. You're here to watch a review I've written with the knowledge after wasting many hours of my life on this game. So after 170 hours of happiness, pain, and everything in between, here is my review of Super Mario Odyssey. Stories in Mario games have kind of been known to be bland. It started out with the basic hero saving the princess from an evil villain, yada yada yada, and it hasn't changed much over the years. Mario games have always stayed within the formula that is known to work, except for Super Mario Sunshine, which strayed ridiculously far from the formula that it was just odd for a lot of people. On paper, Super Mario Odyssey's story is the same bland story that has happened in nearly every Mario game, though its execution of the story is what makes it special. It doesn't start with a letter from Peach asking Mario to come to the castle and oh no, she gets kidnapped for the 54th time. No. You press start and boom, you're on a ship fighting Bowser just like that. This moment caught me so off guard when I played the game for the first time, and I loved it. You're on a ship above the Mushroom Kingdom and Bowser has already captured Peach. He says that he plans to marry her and then kicks your butt with his boxing hat, knocking you down into the world below. In the process, Mario's hat falls off and is ripped to shreds by the ship's propellers. Mario wakes up in a mysterious new land inhabited by these hat ghosts, or bonetons like the game calls them. One of them is named Cappy and tells you that Bowser stole his sister Tiara for the wedding to be Peach's, well, tiara. Mario and Cappy unite since they have the same common goal to beat Bowser, and he becomes your new hat. Cappy is Mario's new special mechanic that is used in Super Mario Odyssey. He can be thrown out in front of Mario and used for many different things. He can be used to break objects, collect coins, and kill enemies. He can also be used as a trampoline for Mario. Throw him in front of you and hold him in place and Mario will bounce off of him. You can also use Cappy as a platform in mid-air, and this creates a really interesting platforming that makes your possibilities nearly endless. You can jump, throw out Cappy, dive onto Cappy, bounce, throw out Cappy again, dive again, and land, giving you the power to jump over large chasms with the right skill. Just look what I was able to do after 170 hours in this game. Yeah, I definitely didn't mess up that jump multiple times. Though Cappy is what leads to probably the worst part about Super Mario Odyssey, the motion controls. Now, most people think motion controls on the Switch are annoying, especially when you're playing in handheld mode, so they turn it off in games and use button presses to do moves instead. Though in Odyssey, for some more advanced moves like rolling faster or throwing Cappy up, down, and in a circle, are either really annoying to do or even impossible without motion controls. And I know these don't sound super necessary, and it really isn't, but it does limit your controls when it would have been really easy to make these movements possible with button presses. On the bright side, Cappy also brings in a new mechanic that is probably my most favorite: capturing. When Mario throws Cappy onto an enemy that doesn't have a hat on, Mario possesses that enemy. This gives the enemy a cute new little Mario mustache and Mario's famous hat. The capture also replaces the power-up mechanic that's found in most other Mario games, and honestly, this change had good news and bad news for me. For one, this new capturing mechanic is really fun and gives you new powers in a very unique way, but I don't think they needed to get rid of the power-up completely. I think it would be cool to have a power-up and then capture an enemy and that power-up transfers over. Now obviously sometimes it wouldn't transfer over, like when you capture a zipper or a wire, but how cool would it be to get a fire flower, capture a Goomba, and become a fire-breathing Goomba? I think that would be pretty awesome. Anyway, after getting to know Cappy, he suggests that you go over to a land called the Cascade Kingdom where he knows that there is an old airship that he can use to follow Bowser. They make their way across the kingdom and run into the main bosses of Super Mario Odyssey, the Broodals. The Broodals are a group of 4 bunnies who like spiky hats and are the wedding planners for Bowser's wedding. They replaced the usual Koopalings theme, which I am very happy about because I just hate getting beat up by the same bosses over and over again, especially when the bosses are these annoying baby turtles. The 4 Broodals are Topper, who likes to wear a million hats, Harriet, who shoots bombs at you, Spirit, who shoots poison goo at you, and Rango, whose hat is like a trampoline. Anyway, after dealing with the first Broodal, Topper, you capture a wire to Cascade Kingdom and the game really begins. You go to the Cascade Kingdom and you are hit with pure beauty. The first area was so gray and bland, and then you go to the Cascade Kingdom and wow, colors! You then find the ship and notice that it needs to be repaired with an energy source called Power Moons. Power Moons are a new collectible that replaces stars and shines. They are used to power up the Odyssey and give it fuel to keep on moving. These Power Moons can either be pointed at you as story progression, or they can be hidden in some areas or behind a puzzle. Once you collect enough Power Moons to leave the Cascade Kingdom, you start to follow Bowser. The rest of the journey is a lot more interesting than other Mario games as well. While most Mario games have you just make your way towards Bowser's castle and the entire journey is just obstacles in your way, Mario Odyssey has reasons why Bowser stops at these different areas. He goes to these different kingdoms to steal items for his wedding with Peach, disrupting the world and its inhabitants. Also, Bowser knows that Mario will come after him, so he keeps ordering the Broodals to fight you and slow you down. The game also offers a lot of original bosses in some kingdoms. These bosses are the result of Bowser's effects on these worlds, like a robot wiggler, a massive Dark Souls dragon, and a giant bird who vomits hot soup. That's not a joke. All of these kingdoms that you pass through also have a unique style that just makes them so appealing. Each kingdom has a color palette and design that just feels so happy, even if it's gloomy. The textures are also very realistic, which is strange for a cartoonish game like Mario, but I have to say it works really well. Like, look at the 8-bit fossils on the rocks in the Cascade Kingdom. That's such a cool touch that has so much thought into it, and I love it. Each of these kingdoms also has a really amazing soundtrack to go with them. In fact, the whole game has music that's just so happy and nice and makes you feel all good inside. The kingdoms are also so much more creative than the basic snow world and desert world and lava world. I mean, there's a tropical island surrounded by poison, and a beach kingdom that looks so relaxing, and even a kingdom made entirely out of food. Each kingdom is just so open, and while there's a certain path that the game leads you on, sometimes you can go wherever the heck you want. If you have the platforming skills, you can even go into areas later in the world early because it's just so open. The kingdoms also have doors and pipes that you can go through to lead to sub-areas, which are more like these small little challenges where you can get 1 or 2 Power Moons from. These rooms are a little more similar to levels in games like Galaxy, just platforming sections in an endless void. These little sub-areas also have really good music to accompany them, and these music tracks are usually more sharp and loud. Each kingdom also has a shop called Crazy Cap where they sell outfits that Mario can wear, hearts for you to heal up, and even moons which you can buy all with coins. Yep, that's right, you don't have to save coins or star bits anymore for more lives. In fact, there are no lives in this game. Whenever you die, you just lose 10 coins, making collecting coins absolutely optional. Each kingdom also has its own special type of coin that you can collect to buy kingdom-specific outfits, stickers for your ship, and souvenirs. As you travel through all of the kingdoms, fixing Bowser's actions in each one, you go to his castle where he escapes to his wedding on the moon at the last second. You defeat the Brutals one last time, and then you head to the moon after Bowser. Mario shows up just in time, and you brawl Bowser one final time. After you kick his butt, Mario, Peach, and Bowser fall down a chasm and are trapped inside an unstable area of the moon. You then, wait for it, capture Bowser with Cappy's powers and escape the moon, leaving Bowser behind as the credits play. Talk about epic endings. After the credits, some people might stop playing the game, but doing that won't give you a full feel for Super Mario Odyssey. Just to put it into perspective, it took me about 10 of the 170 hours to beat the main story, and the rest of the time was spent in post-game. When you beat the game, you unlock a familiar kingdom called the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's the same layout as the Mushroom Kingdom from Super Mario 64. In this kingdom, you notice these little white pillars that you can enter, and inside there are these paintings that you can jump into just like in Mario 64, that are harder versions for the unique bosses that you can fight for more power moons. There is still even more to do in this endgame. If you want to get coins, you can visit Luigi in each kingdom and play his game Luigi's Balloon World. In this game, you can hide balloons in kingdoms for other people to find. If they don't pop your balloon in the time limit, you get some coins. You can also attempt to pop other people's balloons to earn coins, though you have to put some of your own coins on the line. Basically, Luigi created gambling in a Mario game. I love Luigi. You can also go inside the castle and find Toadette, who can give you moons for achieving some objectives, like jumping and throwing Cappy a certain amount of times, or beating all the bosses in each kingdom. Now you might be asking, why do you need more moons for fuel if you've already gone everywhere? You only need 124 moons to beat the game. Well, if you've collected a total of 250 moons, you unlock the dark side of the moon, an area where you can fight all the Brutals in a row with moon gravity with no checkpoints. This was a hard challenge for me, but it was worth it after I stomped that last Brutal. When you finally finish, you're rewarded with the king's outfit you can wear to prove that you beat the dark side. After that, there's even more for you to do. If you collect 500 moons, you unlock the darker side of the moon, which is a giant gauntlet level with no checkpoints as well. This will test all the skills that you have learned over time with this game, and it's a real achievement when you complete it. Beating it will give you the invisibility hat, which will turn you invisible, which is a little weird, but I think it's a nice touch to the game. Getting the moons to access these areas can be a challenge even with the Toadette moons. That's why when you finish the game, these moon rocks that you will find in each kingdom will appear unstable. Throw Cappy at them and then they'll break, releasing many moons into the kingdoms. In total, there are 880 moons for you to collect, each unique in its own way. Of these 880 moons, most of them are really fun to collect, though some of them will make you just want to pull your hair out, like the one where you have to hit a sheep into its pen but it keeps falling into the void, or the stupid 2D section where one mistake means instant death, and don't even get me started on hitting a volleyball and jumping rope 100 times in a row. Just look at my reactions into getting these 2 moons. I'm just praying. Let's go! Brick this game. Collecting all the moons will unlock a painting to jump into at the wedding chapel where you defeated Bowser for the first time. Jump into the painting and you will fight a harder version of Bowser, and beating this will give you a postcard-like picture, and I think this is a nice reward as well. Now you might think this is the end of the game, but no, there is still more to do. Remember how I said you could buy moons at the crazy cap stores? Well, if you buy your way to 999 moons, Cappy tells you to head to the Mushroom Kingdom for a surprise. You head there to see a giant top hat on the castle. That's a little strange. You make your way to the top and you see a glowing knob. Throw Cappy onto it and this happens. Is that it? Yeah, my reaction was pretty great. Now, this might not be very much, but I really think something small like this is enough reward for such an amazing journey. In the end, Super Mario Odyssey ended up being one of the most fun and amazing games to play. Its joyful art design and exciting gameplay is exactly what I wanted from a Mario game and more. And do I recommend this journey for anyone with a heart for really anything for that matter? Yep, I do. Now, the most important part of the review, what score do I give this game? If you don't know what my scoring system is, which should be everyone since I've never explained it before, but I rank on 4 categories, which are story, game mechanics, world design, and music, and each of those I rate out of 10. So overall, it's a score out of 40. And on the screen here, you can see what each of the 1 to 10 means, and I'll have the final score and the rankings in the description as well. But without further ado, I give this game an 8 in story, a 9 in game mechanics, a 9 in world design, and a 9 in music. This gives it a total of 35 out of 40, which makes it the best game of the 2 games I've reviewed. What a great accomplishment.